Imagine a young boy, no older than 12, standing alone on a crowded street in Manila, singing a song that millions know, yet no one could expect him to perform with such soul. His voice is raw, heartfelt, and it stops everyone in their tracks. Little did he know, this performance would change his life forever. Before we dive into his incredible story, make sure to hit the subscribe button and join us for more unbelievable talent from around the world. The morning sun was just rising over the bustling streets of Manila. Vendors shouted their prices, jeepneys rattled past, and the smell of street food filled the air. Amidst the chaos, a small boy sat on the curb with a tattered guitar. His clothes were worn, his shoes barely held together, and his hair was tangled from a night spent on the floor of his small room. He was no stranger to hardship. His name was Miguel, and he had been singing on the streets for as long as he could remember, hoping that one day someone would recognize his talent. Miguel's life had been a series of struggles. His father had passed away when he was very young, and his mother worked long hours as a laundress to provide for him and his younger sister. Despite the poverty, Miguel had an unshakable love for music. He had learned to play the guitar from a neighbor who once noticed his passion, and every day he practiced, hoping that one day his songs would carry him far away from the streets he knew so well. One afternoon, a small crowd began to gather around Miguel as he tuned his guitar. He had chosen to sing Hotel California, a classic that he had grown to love by listening to old records and watching videos online. There was something about the haunting melody and the story within the song that resonated with him. As he began to sing, his voice cut through the street noise like a sharp, clear bell. The crowd fell silent. People stopped walking, cars slowed down, and even the street vendors paused to listen. Miguel's voice was hauntingly beautiful. Every note carried emotion far beyond his years. Some in the crowd were moved to tears. Others pulled out their phones to capture the moment. His fingers danced across the guitar strings, effortlessly hitting every chord. It was as though he had been born to perform this song, despite the hardships he had faced. Among the crowd that day, an AGT talent scout happened to be passing by. She had been scouting for the next season of America's Got Talent, and the moment she heard Miguel, she knew she had found something extraordinary. She quickly recorded a video and uploaded it to the show's casting team. Within hours, Miguel had been invited to audition in front of the judges in Las Vegas. The boy who had only known the streets of Manila was about to step onto one of the biggest stages in the world. When Miguel arrived in the United States, everything felt surreal. He had never been on a plane before, never eaten in a fancy restaurant, and never imagined he would stand before cameras and flashing lights. His nerves were visible as he took the stage, but as soon as he strummed the first chords of Hotel California, all doubt disappeared. His performance was mesmerizing. The judges were captivated, and the audience could not believe that such talent came from a boy who had sung for coins on the streets of Manila. Simon Cowell, known for his notoriously critical eye, watched in stunned silence. He had seen countless acts, but Miguel's raw talent and emotional depth were unlike anything he had encountered. As the final note lingered in the air, Simon stood, tears glistening in his eyes, and pressed the golden buzzer. The arena erupted in cheers. Miguel had just earned a direct spot in the AGT live shows, and his life had officially changed forever. However, the story was far from over. Back in Manila, Miguel's family watched the video of his golden buzzer moment in disbelief. His mother wept with joy, barely able to comprehend that her son, whom she had struggled to feed and clothe, was now recognized on one of the biggest stages in the world. News outlets picked up the story, dubbing him the street boy who sang his way to Simon Cowell's heart. Offers poured in for interviews, performances, and even a possible record deal. But Miguel remained humble. He knew that the journey was just beginning, and he still carried the memories of the streets that had shaped him. In the weeks leading up to the live shows, Miguel faced new challenges. Fame brought pressure. Fans expected perfection, and critics scrutinized every rehearsal. He struggled to balance his excitement with nerves. There were moments when doubt crept in. What if he failed? What if people didn't love his voice anymore? But every time he picked up his guitar and sang, all fear vanished. Music was his home, and no matter how big the stage, it was still the same song that had kept him going through the hardest times. During one particularly tense rehearsal, Miguel's guitar strings snapped mid-song. The room went silent. Many would have panicked, but Miguel calmly strummed the broken strings, improvising until he could continue. The judges were astonished. Even Simon Cowell, who had already pressed the golden buzzer once, was visibly impressed by Miguel's composure and resilience. Finally, the night of the live show arrived. The stage was massive, the lights blinding, and the audience roaring with anticipation. Miguel stepped forward, took a deep breath, and began his performance. This time, he added subtle touches he had learned from his street performances, the pauses, the glances, the raw emotion that only someone who had known real struggle could convey. By the time the song ended, the entire audience was on their feet. Tears flowed freely, and Simon Cowell embraced Miguel, a gesture of genuine admiration and pride. After the show, Miguel reflected on how far he had come. From the streets of Manila to the stages of Las Vegas, he had remained true to himself and his music. His story was a testament to the power of talent, perseverance, and the belief that no matter where you start, your dreams are valid. As the video of Miguel's journey goes viral, we want to know, our viewers, from which part of the country are you watching this incredible story unfold? Comment below and share your thoughts on this young boy's extraordinary journey.